The Comrades looks to be a walk in the park for you.
Most people will probably say that, and I've heard them say that many times. No. A comrade can never be a walk in the park, and it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. A comrade is just a very grueling race or event in a human's body as a day event, and I respect it, and that's the approach I'm adopting on Sunday as well. It's not that I've done things that are much more tougher than a comrade. This is my 9th comrade, so I have the experience and I know what it takes to run a comrade. It's not an easy event.
Sibusiso, what is your motivation this time around for running the Comrades and in such a packed year for yourself? We went through what you've been through and what you're still going to take on.
My inspiration or motivation to run the Comrade this year comes in two folds. When I decided that I was going to attempt Mount Everest this year, I somehow thought about this amazing, crazy idea, as people would say, to how would it feel to walk off Mount Everest and find yourself lining up at the start of a Comrades Marathon. And that sort of overwhelmed my thoughts and my thinking. Then before I finished about those two, immediately 2 Oceans came in. So I thought, okay, how great it would be to be able to run the 2 biggest ultras in the country and then in between climbing Mount Everest. So I did 2 Oceans at the end of March this year, and then straight from 2 Oceans I flew out of the country, went to the Himalayas. I tried to reach Everest summit without oxygen. I got to 8,000 meters, which I still believe was the first African attempt on the mountain without oxygen, and remarkably reaching 8,000 meters was amazing. So I just got back from that expedition now, and hence about to finish or take on the 3rd one of my triple challenge, which I've set for myself this year. Really, the inspiration is about challenging myself every year, trying to find something that will push me to probably beyond my limits, because I believe I've got no limits. So I'm still trying to see how far and how high I can go in my life, and hence deciding to run the Comrades this year.
Sibusiso, when you set out, when you map out all these challenges for yourself, what is your end goal? What are you hoping ultimately that you're going to achieve, apart from a personal sense of achievement?
Now, again, it is in two folds. It does give one that personal fulfillment, but I believe that's not enough. And I've always then challenged myself to link my personal adventures with charity initiatives. And with the 3, I've been trying to raise funds that will help a needy girl at school. And this sort of ties in nicely with what I do every year, which is the Trek for Mandela and Caring for Girls initiative, which we do in July. But this was just a personal interest of mine, because I've got this will to help where I can, but the only way I can do is probably putting myself physically to events like climbing mountains and running the Comrades, with the hope that people will donate to the cause. So for me, as I line up at the start of a Comrades, it will be try to just see every kilometer with the education of a needy child, and that will be through supported donations from people that will be cheering me along, and I'm very grateful and thankful to those that have already done so. People are saying, how do we do it? I have a website that has been running or receiving the donations kindly. It is by Sports for Social Change Network, so it's www.sscn.co.za. That's where people can donate, and I hope that we can be able to change a child's life. I know we can never change improve the lives of all the needy people in this world, but we can definitely actually change the life of one girl.
Well, you're obviously a living embodiment of this. And then after the Comrades, you're going to go and take a group of people up Kilimanjaro. It'll be your 24th time, I believe, up there, and it'll be part of the Mandela Centenary celebrations, Trek for Mandela. Tell us a little bit more about that.
It is the Trek for Mandela and Caring for Girls initiative was started nearly 6 years ago by Richard Mabaso, who runs a foundation called Imbumba Foundation. He came to me and said, my friends, you climb mountains, and I would like to climb Kilimanjaro to raise awareness about this plight of girls who do not have access to sanitary towels. And I thought, okay, we need to play a role there because I believe every one of us has a role to play in our community and society. So we started in 2012 and we've been going very strong through support from other people and people joining us. And this year we are going, and this year it's even much more inspiring or encouraging in the fact that apart from just the climb itself and the fundraising itself, we are celebrating Nelson Mandela's legacy, and him would have been 100 years old. It is amazing that we will stand on the summit of Kilimanjaro on his centenary, so that's quite remarkable. And I play a role as a leader of the whole expedition. And we've got about 40 plus people that are joining us this year, which is also very, very commendable really for people to put up their efforts. But the end goal for that is not just to reach the summit of Kilimanjaro, it is just to use Mount Kilimanjaro as a resource to be able to raise funds that will benefit needy girls, because we all know or hear that they miss out about 50 days of their schooling, which is very precious, and for me, that should not happen. So with this effort, that's what we're trying to achieve, and we still hope that people will back us and support us when we leave on the 13th of July, hoping to summit on the 18th of July. In fact, we will summit on the 18th of July.
Absolutely. Just one final question. We're running out of time, but is there any challenge that's too daunting for you? Is there any, you've walked the North Pole, the South Pole, you've summited the highest peaks on all continents. What do you tap out on? What do you say, no, that's a little bit too much for me? No, I've grown so much as an adventurer that I ended up coining the phrase that I'm not the kind of a person who will say no to any challenge or any adventure, because if I feel that it's a challenge, then I will do it. There's nothing that I fear, there's nothing that I will not do. I said to people many years ago, I'm the kind of guy that can do anything except swimming. I'm about to change that now because I've started learning how to swim, so I'll probably be trying an Ironman, I don't know when it happens. So quite frankly, I challenge myself, I push myself. It's just knowing that I've got this natural physical ability that I'm blessed with, and then I can't just waste it. I've got to use it to its maximum potential, which I really will never find out as I've grown to learn that our human capability is limitless. Sibusiso Vilane, we wish you the best of luck for Sunday and, of course, for the rest of the year. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
That was Sibusiso Vilane, adventurer extraordinaire. We're going to take a very quick break, but we'll be right back.
Violent protests have spread throughout the province for a second week now.
It shows that the ANC here cannot put the people first, and services have failed here. That's why this Northwest becomes a very important province.
We've almost got brought. Next. Ja, voor in je bakjes een lighter. Kom, maak zit in je kop, fuck.
At the end of the day, Babang, the maternal death and all that, we are to be blamed because of overcrowding at the patient.
I will